Greetings. Back with another one, This is Sunday Dailies, the 27th edition. Okay. Let me change something real quick. Yeah, back with another one again. Man, that Colorado game from yesterday from Oregon. Woo, the hate is real after that loss. I mean, it was a beatdown. That was expected, you know what I mean? But Dion said some words. I saw a video of I think around association. He broke it down and he responded, but he said there's a bright future where Colorado is, right? And to me personally, I'm not surprised. You know, most people expect him not to win those games, but he turned that around after those first three wins. He was undefeated until they lost against a good team, Oregon. But Oregon's always been a good team each year in the Pac-12 or whatever. They try to put them in the Pac-10. But what y'all don't understand, it's still early because football is unpredictable. Yeah, you got the hot run right now, but once you get round, like I would say, like NFL, like week 4, now you know who's who. You'll start seeing the season for what it is. Because around playoff time and the bowl time, it's a little different. Because the bowl, I hate to say it, it starts. That's when it gets, dicey. This is we're in fall right now. The first day of fall, they moved it on the 23rd. It usually be on the 21st, but once they moved it on the 23rd, I don't know. That's part of the new Gregorian calendar. I'm trying to figure out why they say fall was on the 23rd. And I explained to my pops the other day, and I said, I don't know what that is, but it used to be on the 21st, but now they moved it on the 23rd, which is kind of odd to me. Some man-made shit they done created. But if you look at where we are today, you start seeing that things is erupting where it's supposed to be. But I understand where the hate is coming from. They want to see Dion lose some games and all that stuff. That just goes to show you about media. Media they're a bunch of derelict idiots, but their job is to fuck with you. They do this. They pay to be wrong all the time. That's what sells, and that's why Humpty Dumpty, or should I call him Jason Dumpty? That's his new name from now on this channel. I call him Jason Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty, what you call Whitlock, right? I call him Jason Dumpty. Jason Dumpty always got something stupid to say. But when Dion starts winning, now they talking shit now. But if he wins again, he said, get your shots in now. And I like how he said that. That's a great response. A lot of people try to say that's arrogant. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's a great response. He said, get your shots in. And I know what he meant by that. He said, get your shots in. Because if they beat USC, y'all gonna be mad. Oh, y'all gonna be mad if they beat USC. USC's good, don't get me wrong, but USC's been inconsistent. They way worse than Colorado. Lop said they gonna lose against USC. Not necessarily. If Shadir has a good game, if Shadir Sanders have a good game, I think him and I believe his brother on defense, if they have a good game. Dion said they're not the teams to win a bowl game, like a championship or a playoff. They just want to be in a playoff in a bowl. But if they ever get in national championship contention, he's talking about the future. I like his attitude. I like how he said that. He said, if you want to get in a national championship contention, you're in that contention spot. Like I said, how biased college football is. They're going to pick their Georgias, the Alabamas, the Floridas. You already know the Texas teams. Texas Christian University just recently played Georgia this past year, last year, but this past year, known as last year. You got to say that Georgia beat them. Now, Kirby Smart is a good coach. He ain't the best coach, but he's a good coach. But if he dominates national championship, you might see Colorado and Georgia. It's a possibility. I ain't saying that ain't going to be the national championship, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. I don't think Dion can do it this year. Me personally, I don't think he can do it this year, but we'll see. We'll see. I may be wrong, but I ain't going to say I'm going to be wrong on that, but I could be slightly wrong because I don't know. But he likes his future. Dion ain't expecting to be dominant this year. He already saw the landscape. But if he does it again, yeah. But it's okay. You got beat down by Oregon. They say, oh, they ain't gonna bounce back from that. If they bounce back from this, that's a good team. Colorado's got a future. He's gonna win those recruits, and Colorado's gonna be a powerhouse. I'm telling you, if Colorado does good this year and not win a national championship, they're gonna be good next year. That's gonna be a good team next season. And I'm telling you this, that's the future. So you gotta look at the big picture of what's going on. So Colorado is just one of those teams that you gotta look at is how they're gonna place it, how they're gonna place in so many words, but what do you expect them to do? Right? But when you're in a realm where sports is just dominated by the southern states, some of the Midwest states like the Big 12, the Big 10. I would say the Big 10. The Big 10 sports landscape, they're second to none. Okay. You're gonna have your Michigans, you're gonna have your Ohio States, but Georgia is better. I don't like Georgia. I don't like the University of Georgia that much. I'm a big Michigan guy. I'm a big Big Ten guy, and I'm also big on the Miami University teams. I'm big on them too. Those are the two teams I like in college football. Me personally, and yeah, Georgia beat UAB. I'm not surprised. The Blazers, they beat the Blazers yesterday. I'm not surprised. I know no ranked team, and then North Carolina beat another no ranked team. That's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. The only thing good about the Pittsburgh Panthers, I like their college basketball more than football. Their football is not so much. I mean, they're okay in football, but when it comes to basketball, I give them that. I like their basketball team. They have some good players come out of there. UNC is not known for, University of North Carolina is not known for football. They're known for basketball. You already know that. Ohio State is sixth in the nation. Notre Dame, and Ohio State beat Notre Dame. Not surprised. Notre Dame's. You got your Notre Dame's in that division. You got Penn State. Penn State beat 24 the nation Iowa Hawkeyes. Not surprised. And there's a couple of games. Now USC is fifth in the nation. Let me tell you something. USC scored 42 points against the Sun Devils, a no ranked nation. Now they playing against Colorado. Now Oregon. I'm gonna tell you something about Oregon. Let's be fair. Oregon is 10th in the nation. Now, Dion's not going to be the 10th in the nation team. Let's keep it real. I'm not saying, and was it at Oregon? It was at Oregon, right? Yeah. See, when you're on the road, you get kind of exposed, right? Colorado's the 19th in the nation. Okay. So you got a number 10 team versus the 19th in the nation team. Colorado, the odds of them beating Oregon at home was slim to none. Me personally, I didn't think they was gonna beat them that bad. I mean, they put up a fight. They put up a touchdown. But after that, Oregon just laid it on them. Just laid it on them. And that lets me know what they're capable of, But now, this is on the road. At home, Colorado's doing good at the home games. If they want something on the road, what's their weaknesses? And they're gonna figure out what they did on the road. But yeah. I know everybody's rooting for Colorado Buffaloes, Colorado University. But it is what it is, man. Like Duke is 18th in the nation. They beat Connecticut, and this is football, by the way. Duke's not known for football, by the way. That's for these high flying quarterbacks, running backs. They go to these schools and try to play football for them, and that's not easy to do, by the way. And Duke is not popular in football, but if they ever get popular, that's a whole nother. Now, me personally, if Dion went to Duke, if he was a coach for like the Duke Blue Devils in college football or UNC, I would see Dion. I respect him to go to those schools. Those are good schools, but he went to a school that needed help. He saw what Colorado was about. He took a school that wasn't much, and they're gonna have a good season. I'll say it like this: Colorado's gonna have a good season. Now, Oregon State, they're 14 in the nation. Let me tell you something. Oregon's number 10 in the nation. I told you in that division, Oregon Ducks is 10th in the nation for a reason because they got a good quarterback that's a Heisman winner. And then they also got the number 14th in the nation, Oregon State Beavers, against the Washington Cougars, the 21st in the nation, and Oregon State lost to the 21 in the nation. So it don't really matter those nation things. They'll still be in contention, but Colorado, they just couldn't beat number 10 because Oregon's good. Oregon to me should have been fifth in the nation. Now, if they play against USC, they're number 5 in the nation. That's gonna be tough. That's a tall test. So we already just passed week 4. This is week 4 right now. This is week 4. Now today's NFL week 4 is gonna be crazy. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Um, USC just beat the Sun Devils in week 4, so we already know where they at. Now Auburn and Georgia. You know, me personally, Georgia's gonna win in week 5. I'm just gonna tell you right now, Georgia's gonna beat Auburn. Auburn ain't the same. Nebraska's gonna lose to Michigan. You already know that's another win. Oregon's gonna beat Stanford. Me personally, they're gonna beat Stanford. They just beat the brakes off of Colorado, but we'll see. Now USC versus Colorado. This is going to be at Colorado now. USC is coming to Colorado, 5th in the nation, 19th in the nation. It's going to be very interesting. If Dion makes adjustments, we'll see what Colorado's made of. If Colorado wins at home, that's a whole nother story. I'll be surprised if they beat USC. I'll be surprised. Most people is going to pick USC. Me personally, I don't really care for neither team. In a way, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be a little biased for you. I'm gonna say this. I pick USC to beat them because Colorado's got a lot to learn. But if Colorado beats USC, I'm okay with that because Dion is gonna be one of the. That's another team I like in the. I believe it's in the Pac-10 or Pac-12. I think they're in the Pac-10. I like the USC. I like them in football. Now basketball, not so much. Football, yes, they're good in football. I do like their football team. They're known for football, but they're not known for basketball like that. No. USC in football, yeah, I give them that. That's like my third or fourth. It's one of them teams. But me personally, my personal favorite teams I like is Miami and Michigan. I still like Michigan. Michigan's number 2. So that's the team that I like. You know, me personally, I'm a Michigan guy. But I also like the Hurricanes too. Those are the 2 teams I really like. I'm not gonna lie. I always like Miami Hurricanes, you know. Washington, they good every year. Washington's better than Oregon. I already know that because they've been good every year. See, Washington's good. They always 8th in the nation because of the rankings. Notre Dame. See, you get into the hard school. See, Iowa Hawkeyes. You know, you got Alabama's 13. They ain't been the same, but Alabama's out of contention. So you already know Penn State is up there. They ain't been up contention since they had that long term coach Joe Paterno. They had him. Florida has been 25th. And the reason why Florida's good, because look at their games. They've always been in contention. Florida, you know, if Dion would have went to the Florida Gators, it'll be no issue. It'll be no issue. It'll be no issue. He went to a school, Colorado, that had won one game and 11 losses. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? So week 6, USC is gonna play Arizona, a no-name team. Let's see what Colorado's gonna do. I'm just looking at the scheduling. Oh, they're gonna beat the Sun Devils on the road. They're gonna beat the Arizona Sun Devils. They'll win that game. Dion's gonna win that game. That's crazy. If he gets on another streak, they got a good schedule. They're gonna beat the Sun Devils. And Georgia's gonna beat Vanderbilt, so it ain't really much. And Colorado's gonna beat Stanford and Arizona State. We already know that. But that USC game was a big game. That's fun to watch. That's gonna be televised. You know, Colorado's gonna win some games. They have a good schedule. Um, let's see. Let's see. Very quick. Pac-12. Pac-12 is a popular division because USC's in the Pac-12. Excuse me. I thought they was in the Pac-10. Pac-10 is kind of different because Pac-10, I think I'm thinking about basketball. I don't know because in football it's different. You got the American Atlantic Conference. You got the Atlantic Conference, the ACC, by the way, Atlantic Coast Conference. That's the ACC, by the way. The American Athletic Conference, the AAC. That's the Atlantic. And then you got the Big 12. Now the Big 12, you already know who's in the Big 12: Kansas State, TCU, West Virginia, UCF, University of Central Florida. Now Dion, if Dion went to the Big 12 teams like UCF, there will be no issue. If he went to Baylor, no issue. If he went to those schools, Texas or Cincinnati, I'm just saying, if Dion went to any of these schools, he can make them look what he did to Colorado. See, Colorado wasn't his choice, but if he would have went to any school in the Big 12, all of them be good. Even Oklahoma, Kansas, a lot of these schools, they just you know what they are. But the Big 12 is wide open, so you know how it is. Big 10 is popular. Big 10 is the equivalent, and they dominate both sports, football and basketball. Now, Michigan is historically known for football. Ohio State is too, but their basketball is okay. Now, Michigan is good in basketball as well because they had Fab Five one year. They always had a good team, but their football team, they're well balanced school. That's a well balanced school, by the way. Ohio State is somewhat the same. They're a football school historically, the Buckeyes. But that basketball team, they're okay. They had some good players come out of there. And that's in Columbus, by the way. They got the Big Ten West, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's always good every year in football. Northwestern ain't gonna be the same. You got the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They known for football. Iowa Hawkeyes is good in both sports. Illinois Fighting Illini. They good, but they're not the best. You know, they're good in basketball, but they're not good in football as much. So football determines how they're going to be. Purdue Boilermakers, that's a basketball school, me personally. Not a football school. You know, they have a football team, but it ain't gonna be as great. They're on the same tier as the Carolina teams and all that. Michigan State is not a football school. It's a basketball school, technically. They're good at basketball, but not in football. Football is like they're Rutgers, same thing. Rutgers is a basketball school. Indiana's a basketball school, not a football school. It's tough because Ohio State rules football. We already know that. Maryland, Penn State. You know, we're talking about the Conference USA is smaller each year. Look at that. Conference USA was big until they got smaller and smaller. They got Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders is in the Conference USA. It's getting smaller and smaller. Sam Houston, uh, New Mexico State, UTEP, known as University Texas El Paso, also known as Texas Western. Yeah, they football team is okay, but they basketball historically they were Texas Western. That's the same school, by the way, and they call themselves UTEP Miners, Jack State, and all that. Okay, independent FBS, Notre Dame. Okay, Notre Dame and Army and UMass and Connecticut are independent FBS. They're part of the independent FBS. So the Minuteman, UMass, Army, the Army College, and Notre Dame is another one. The Fighting Irish and Huskies. Huskies ain't that good, but that's a FBS conference. Okay, Mid American Conference. They got the Mid American Conference. West, they got Toledo. All these decent schools. See, when you talk about the Pac-12, you got to talk about USC, Washington. Washington is good this year. Washington's good, and Oregon's 4-0. But Colorado's in the Pac-12. They're in the same division, by the way. That's gonna be tough ruling the Pac-12. Pac-12. I know y'all saw that, but you know, they rule the Pac-12, so we're gonna see what's going on. Oregon State is doing good. They're decent. UCLA not so much. California, yeah, it's little bungees. Sun Belt not so much. They got the Sun Belt Conference East. Georgia State. Georgia State's undefeated. That's in Atlanta, by the way. Georgia State's in Atlanta, by the way. Georgia State's good. Now the University of Georgia's doing good this year. Now Georgia State's doing good. They're not in no nation. They ruling a division. They'll be in a different bowl game. But that old Braves things, the old Brave Stadium that used to be known as Turner Field, it's gaining traction because Georgia State football is there. A lot of people go to Georgia State. Georgia State Panthers is a good school. I'm not gonna lie. Almost went there years ago. I could have went to Georgia State. Not gonna lie, because Georgia State would have been my college. If I would have went to school here, it'd been Georgia State or Emory University. Those are the schools I would have went to. Or if I would have went to Old Dominion, I would have went to schools like Marshall and all that. Those are schools I would have went to. The schools that ain't popular, I would make it popular myself. Arkansas State is another one. Texas. It's I was a college kid. I wasn't a college kid like that, but if I would have went to college, that would have been my interest. I would have did a different profession of what I would have done. But that's a whole nother story. I had colleges in my mind. When I was doing basketball, I would have went to these schools I just mentioned in these conference. They got Arkansas State. They got Texas State. Okay. Man, I miss college basketball days when I was into it, but I was into high school ball. It's cut short. End up being a playground player. So that's it. Okay, let's look at Colorado. That's a sidebar conversation. My fault. That's just talking about myself. Okay, so they lost against Oregon. They play USC the next Saturday of this month. So that's going to be an interesting game. Now, the lower games is not nation games. They'll beat Arizona State and Stanford. I know they're gonna beat those two games. Now USC is gonna be interesting. I like USC in this matchup, but we'll see. And they also got UCLA around October. They should beat UCLA, me personally, and they should beat Oregon State. Those are the teams they should beat because Oregon State ain't gonna be that good because they're gonna lose some games too. Washington State should definitely beat them. That's on the 17th of November, by the way. And their last game is the Utah Utes. Now Dion may beat I know he's gonna beat Arizona and Arizona State. He's gonna beat the Arizona teams. He's gonna beat Stanford. They're gonna win some games. They're gonna have a good run. They got a decent schedule. The next couple of games, they should beat Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, um, Arizona, Washington State Cougars, and the Pac-12. So probably Oregon is Oregon. Oregon is always gonna be tough on the schedule for Colorado. So yeah. Oh, this is in 22. Okay. They lost to Oregon last year when they were the 15th rank. This is last year in 2022. This is before Dion. So yeah, Oregon beat the brakes off of Colorado and they weren't even ranked. Now, this year in the 23rd, okay, they first game, they beat TCU. Yeah, they knocked off TCU. That was a close game. They beat TCU. They beat Nebraska. They beat the hell out of Colorado State, but lost against Oregon. But their next games will be a little simple. It ain't going to be as tough, but it'll be, Colorado's got a good schedule. They got a decent schedule. It's just, college football is kind of short anyway because NFL is a long week. So let's look at the NFL technically who's playing today. Okay, the Falcons are playing today at 1 Eastern with the Lions. Me personally, that's going to be a good game. Chargers, Vikings, Saints, Packers, Jaguars, Jacksonville and Texans. I think Jacksonville should beat the Texans. They will beat the Texans. Now, Tennessee will beat the Browns. Me personally, I think they should beat the Browns. Tennessee should win that game. Okay, because this is week 4. Okay, Miami is 2-0. They're good. Jets, they're in limbo land. The Bills will come back. The Raiders is 1-1. We got to see what the Chiefs are doing. Ravens are good. I think they should beat somebody today. We'll see. Now Cleveland's 1-1. They're not beating Tennessee. I know that. Now Tennessee's 1-1. Tennessee should beat the Browns, me personally, because they got a good defense. Offense, not so much, but they should beat the Browns. But it's in Cleveland. We'll see, because Cleveland may surprise. But if they beat the Browns, you already know. That should be a game that Tennessee should win. Colts and all that. Week 4, you already know this. And this is AFC I'm talking. Okay. Texans, they're gonna lose against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got the upper hand. There's no excuse to lose to a weak team. Okay, the Cowboys is 2-0, Eagles is 2-0, and Commanders 2-0. Now the Eagles is gonna play Monday night. They're gonna play tomorrow. I love that team so much. They're gonna play tomorrow. They're gonna play Tampa Bay tomorrow. They'll beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's not having a good season. They're gonna be out of there. But the Commanders on the 1st of October, yeah, that's gonna be for real, for real. That's on Sunday. They're gonna play the Commanders on at home in Philadelphia, but then they got to go to LA the next week on the 8th with the Rams. So that's a whole nother. So they should beat the Jets. So our schedule is okay. Yeah, the Eagles is gonna be good. They're gonna be up there. Cowboys not so much. Cowboys schedule. Let's look at the Cowboys. I don't care for them that much. Me personally, they got the Patriots coming to first. Now today they're playing the Cardinals. They should beat the Cardinals. They're gonna beat the Cardinals. I already know they're gonna beat the Cardinals. I know the Eagles is gonna beat the Buccaneers tomorrow. They're up there. But a lot of people say Cowboys gonna win the division. I highly doubt that. The Rams may sneak them, Eagles may beat them, and the Chargers, um, they're not having a good season, but they should beat the Chargers. But the 49ers, they're not beating the 49ers. We already know that. Dak's not that good, bro. Sorry. I mean, the Cowboys, y'all can say what y'all want to say. I mean, they're gonna be decent, but they're not gonna be the team. They're not going to Super Bowl. Let's just keep it real. They're not capable. As long as you have Jerry, he's holding them back. The owner's holding them back. Just like the Knicks. Like they think they got something, but they ain't nobody studying the Cowboys, bro. NFC East is the best division to me out of the NFC. A lot of people try to say it's the other. No, NFC East is still the best. I'm sorry, because Philadelphia's good. Dallas is good every now and then. They have historical rivals. The Commanders is really, we call them the Deadskins over here. And the Giants, they're going to be the Giants. Giants ain't going nowhere. They lost Saquon Barkley and guys like that. So it's not good. Packers need to win some games, man, in the NFC North and let clog up the lanes. The Minnesota's not doing too good, but it's early, because we don't know how they're going to be. Detroit, who they played today, because we already know who they play today. Today they play the Falcons. Now, Detroit is 1-1. Falcons is 2-0. Now, here's the thing. It's at Detroit. The Falcons should beat the Detroit Lions. Me personally, they should beat the Lions. Now, the Lions, me personally, I want to see Detroit beat Atlanta. Now, if Atlanta comes out swinging, it's over. I mean, Atlanta may beat Detroit. If they beat the Detroit Lions, you already know. Because the NFC South, they rule the South right now. They're going to rule that. Now, the Saints, we know they playing today. A win for the Saints against the Packers, which I don't think they can beat the Packers. If they lose against the Packers in Green Bay should beat them. But you may never know because the Saints is 2-0. They're good. But if I find out if Green Bay beats this team, the Saints going to be in second place. And the Buccaneers is 2-0, by the way. They're 2-0. That's a tough team. Now, two teams is 2-0. Now, they're good. Excuse me. I didn't think they have they have a decent season, but they're not a good team. Like the last couple of games, who did they play? They beat the Ravens. Not surprisingly, it was a close game. It was a close game against the Vikings. Now, they shouldn't have won those games, but those games, me personally, they did okay. They were close. Eagles always play close too. Now, they do play the Eagles tomorrow. Me personally, I think the Eagles should beat Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay ain't the same Tampa Bay we seen when they left Tom Brady. Tampa Bay is not coming back like that. It's too early because it's week 4. And then they're completing the week 4. We already know. If Atlanta wins this game, that means they'll still be on top, and the Buccaneers will have a loss by tomorrow, and the Saints will. Those are my somewhat of predictions. But hey, you may never know. Tampa Bay may come out. But me personally, I think the Eagles will disrupt that. It's pressure to being undefeated. Somebody's got to be defeated. Just like the Panthers. The Panthers having a slow start, but they may bounce back and be up on top. So a lot of these games, they just, dwindling. So yeah, the NFL is back, man, for this season, and then you see the games and all the other stuff. But the NBA is approaching. They start training camp and they getting their stuff and trades, whatever. The Lakers ain't gonna be the same by the end of the year. I say the end of the year and then going on to the next year, 2024 election year. Lakers ain't gonna be. They ain't gonna have the same roster. They're gonna make some trades and adjust. Trust me. If they start, it depends on how they start in the beginning of this year. If they do not deliver, they said LeBron's supposed to play or whatever. I don't think he's gonna. They say he's gonna get the surgery. If he does get the surgery, we don't know because the offseason is over. And a lot of people think the Lakers going to play. They're not going to playoffs. I just don't see them going to playoffs. I see Denver going. I see Phoenix going. I see Sacramento going. Sacramento Kings is definitely going. Memphis will go because they got Marcus Smart. That's a great addition. They're going. Who else is going to playoffs? Sacramento. You may see Utah going. Y'all don't know. Utah may go. Utah may go. Minnesota will go. Utah will go. The Clippers are through. They're not going. Me personally, I don't think the Clippers are going. I don't think neither LA team is going because the situation with the Clippers, they're in limbo right now. We'll see. But I don't think they're going. Nah. A lot of people think they are, but I don't think they're going. Depends on how they do in the regular season because Houston's going. Let me tell you something. Houston's going. Memphis going. Sacramento's going. Denver's going. Golden State might go. I'll say it like this. Golden State might go. See, I'll say it like this. Okay. You got the Nuggets. It's Denver Nuggets, right? Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors may because Steph and them guys, they're trying to compete for championships. They're in the last little hurdle. You do have what's that other team? And they ain't gonna be no damn Lakers. You already know it's gonna be Houston and Memphis, Minnesota. Last but not least, Utah. I'll say something like that. Utah. Those are the teams that are gonna go in it. Me personally. Dallas should go. If Dallas goes to replace, I think if they're the 8th seed or a little higher than those teams I just mentioned, yeah, Dallas should go. And I think Dallas should go. That's gonna be the teams. Me personally. The two Texas teams you may see is Houston, Dallas, Denver, um, Phoenix, Golden State. I said Sacramento. Yeah, I said Sacramento. And you may see say Memphis and Minnesota. Minnesota be the 8th seed again. Yeah. You already know how the West is. Now the East, you already know the East is going to be very simple. You already got Milwaukee, Miami's going back, Portland's going back. Not Portland. Why I say Portland? Excuse me for that. I said Miami. I said Milwaukee, Miami, Boston. Boston. Okay, it's Milwaukee, Miami, Boston, Philadelphia, New York. Atlanta's gonna go and Detroit's going. Ain't gonna be Chicago. It's gonna be Detroit this time. It's gonna be Detroit. Brooklyn Nets, not so much. They're not going nowhere. I don't think they're gonna go because it depends how they play. If they do, that's good. But me personally, I think it's gonna be Detroit. I think it's gonna be Detroit. Probably Detroit. Indiana, not so much. It may be Cleveland. I'll say it like this. It may be Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, Miami, New York, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. That's the teams in the East. That's the East that I'm saying at the start of the season. But it may change next year how they play well in the season in this tournament. Is it going to help them any sort of factors and all that stuff? It's just wild to me. It's just wild to me because people just get caught up on the numbers and things like that. But it's one of those loopy moments, and you know, you know, that's how it is. But yeah, I'm just so get my shit charged up. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to get stuff plugged up. I know y'all saw that, but it's pretty much the same. You just gotta make sure the games is just out there. But I look at it like this. Most of the times when you look at sports, you just gotta look at it from that angle. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of sports is coming. It's just it's a good season, but they riding on Dion. They just talking a little shit about him, and but we'll see this coming up next Saturday. We don't know how they're gonna come out, and this is at home too. By the way, USC should win this game, but Dion, no, he sees something that we don't see. He's a coach, and he knows his players. It's very interesting. This college is weirder than the NFL too, because it's about that money and them contracts. Different stories. So, that's all I got to talk about. I know people's still running on that Remy Ma shit, and my thoughts on it, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. And most people believe in the rumors. I don't, and we got to see some evidence what they say. If they gonna drop another bombshell, and most of those people do not watch battle rap like I do. I've been watching battle rap since the early 2000s. Me personally, from interviews, they talk about battle rap. Yeah, I seen it from making the band and all that stuff. I've been watching battle rap on YouTube probably since '08. But prior to that, I've been into battle rap and supporting it since the early 2000s. Okay. And that's my thing for battle rap. And yes, Philly had it with the Tour Off of the Streets. I saw some of the old videos from the 90s back in those times when I was in '08 with my old channel. And that's just a little sidebar that I'm saying. But I've been in the battle rap for years. All the guys says who's relevant and who's now relevant. And a lot of people said they don't know the guys. I know the guys. They battle all the time. They have some nice flows and they make music. It's probably 15 battle rappers make a handful of good music. I already know Daylight makes it. I'm subscribed to him. He makes music. I'm subscribed to A Verb. I'm not a fan of his battle rap, but I like his content. He's a good content creator on YouTube. But even though he's a good battle rapper, he's decent. His music's dope too. He's a good artist. I think I subscribe to him because he's a good artist. I like him as an artist. He's okay battle rapper, but I like him as an artist. Now Calico is my favorite battle rapper too. He's one of my favorites too. He's straight to the punch. He's Mr. Landslide himself. This dude can battle rap and he can make music. Murder Mook, another one. He's good. I like all the Philly rappers. I like Hollow Man and all them guys. They dope too, and they make music on the side too. Georgia had, don't get me started. Meek is okay. I'm not big on Meek, but Meek is all right. But he's a good battle rapper. I give him some credit. I saw his old shit too. But everybody knows that. But them days is over. Them days is over. So when you look at rap is in a good place right now. You already know who's dominating the region. Let A Verb tell it. He's hilarious with these spaces, man, on Twitter. He's kicking ass and kicking names. So I will see y'all on the next Sunday Dailies on the 28th edition. Shalom to the people of Israel, of course. Until next time, I'm signing off. Until next time on the 28th edition, I'll see y'all this Thursday coming, and I will talk about some more stuff. And I'm out.